I'm so excited to film this. Welcome to like a little coffee chat with Carter. Very casual video. You guys can tell what it is by the title. I want this to feel like you're FaceTiming a friend and asking for advice kind of thing. Like, it's not really gonna be structured. I'm not editing this at all. If you see me looking at my computer, it's because I have a bunch of notes written down. I don't want to forget anything. And this is just gonna be super raw. And like, we're FaceTiming. So go grab a coffee, a tea, wine, whenever you're watching this. We're not judging around here. Look at my super cute, I got like a double rimmed iced coffee cup. I'm really excited about it. We got a candle going. We're gonna disregard the fact that the lamp has plastic on it. We're not sure if we're keeping them yet. So just pretend it's a vibe, okay? But today we're gonna sit down and we're gonna chat about kind of what you do if your dream job isn't for you and you realize that, like what you can do going forward. And I got so many DMs and they weren't cruel in any way, but they were just like, wow, like, how did you figure out this wasn't for you? Like, this was your dream job. Like, how did you know it was time to move on? And so I started looking things up on YouTube and realized there's just like nothing about that. Everyone is so like against the corporate world that no one gives advice in the corporate world, and the corporate world is for some people. Some people enjoy it. I enjoy the corporate world. I might enjoy YouTube more, but I still enjoy the corporate world. And so I wanted to give you guys some tips and tricks on kind of like how to know it's time to move on and like what to do if your dream job just isn't for you, because I can guarantee you, me, we're not alone in this. We get a job thinking it's like our dream job and it just doesn't work out. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. I'm so sick of everyone thinking it's a bad and negative thing, you know? Sometimes you don't fit where you think you want to fit. And sometimes you give it your best effort, and after everything, it doesn't work out. Like, it's not, I really did struggle with like knowing this wasn't my dream job after all, and like that's okay, and like I need to shoot higher. This is not me complaining. This isn't me pooping. I don't want to use the S word, but this isn't me pooping on my job. You guys know I loved my job, and at the time it was like my dream job, right? And for me, I maybe should have phrased it differently, but my dream job was just having a full-time corporate job in hematology. Like, I loved hematology so much. To say it was my dream job was probably a bit of a, like, not dreaming hard enough for me, because this was an entry-level position, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being in an entry-level position if that's what you want to do in life, but I think I should have aspired more, you know what I mean? So let's talk about what to do if your dream job isn't a good fit for you. Let's talk about what you can do, dream bigger, and yeah. So I feel like there's a lot of instances in which you can like take this advice, right? It can just be like, you tried a job that you thought was your dream job and it didn't work out. You could try a dream job and be told it's not working out. Like, there's so many different scenarios, and I just want to give you guys some like big sister advice. So I wrote everything down, like I said, and we're gonna go through it. I'm not gonna like put any editing, talking points or anything. Like, you can just have this on when you're working or whatever. And yeah, I think the big thing I want to reiterate first is that, especially in the corporate world, where people that internalize blame, it's very much like, what did we do wrong? Things we could have done better, pile up the mistakes all on us, and it's always all on us, especially when it comes to work. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, I feel like it's just so instinctual to think like that. And I know I felt like that too. I was like, oh, why am I not enjoying it? And like, what can I do better? And like, I could have done this better and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes jobs just don't work out for you, and like, that's okay. You know what I mean? I also feel like I'm gonna be so fidgety in this, but it's life. And my hair is really bothering me, but it's fine. And I just think that it's very normal to internalize the blame. You're not alone if you're internalizing the blame. Like, you are human and we all do it. But yeah, I feel like everyone's definition of a dream job to start off is so different. Like, it could be the job you envisioned post-grad, which is what it was for me. Like, my first position, corporate, 9-to-5 galley, vacation, benefits, paid sick time, like you name it. That was like the dream for me. It could be like the next step in your career. It could be that, you know, once you take this job, your doors will open immensely. It could be like at the Big Four. Like, everyone's dream job is going to be different, and everyone's definition of a dream job is different. And I think that's important to recognize first. You know, it's like when you like walk in on your first day all bright-eyed, excited, you can't contain your excitement. It's like so great and exciting. This is what you looked forward to. And I think it's good to go in with that excitement, but sometimes things just don't work out. Like, that's literally life. And I don't know why we're so scared to admit that, like, when a job isn't working out for us, when we're past the point of being challenged at a job, when something's just not clicking anymore, you know? Like, why do we internalize that and not vocalize it? That's my biggest concern. have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, and I want you guys to know that these aren't specific to my job. I just really wish there was more advice out there. And you guys know this isn't my first job post-grad. I've had a few, and I've learned a lot of things throughout that time, like what I like in a management style, what I like in a coworker style. My first job post-grad, I didn't like the style of management I was in. I don't like being micromanaged. That's not this current job, but like in previous jobs, right? And you kind of learn what you like and what you don't like. So I think it's normal to have this like fantasy of your first job post-grad, especially if it's like maybe at the Big Four or a big corporation or as a nurse or something, and then have your expectations like taken back. You know what I mean? I think it's so normal. Taken back is not what I mean, like, but for your expectations to like not be met. And you can be the hardest worker in the world, and you can do everything right and try so hard, and a job just might not be for you. And I need you guys to hear that. You can do everything right, and a job can still not be for you. I feel like it's really easy, especially if you're watching this video because maybe you think that your job isn't for you, to get into that like destructive and negative mindset that, you know, my dreams aren't going to plan. What do I do? And it's okay. Feel the feelings, feel the emotions, cry it out, get frustrated, do what you need to do. But then it's time to like, okay, what are the steps I'm going to take to get out of this and into a new position? You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to feel the feelings. We all feel them. You know, it's life. Like, I definitely was, when I got my new job offer and I had to tell my manager, I was just kind of like, oh, like, this was my plan. Like, this is what I was so excited about, and here I am moving on from it. And I was so upset about it for a bit, but then I had to like snap out of it and be like, this is a new opportunity. We're gonna learn from it. We're gonna push ourselves harder, and, you know, let yourself feel the feelings. It's like a breakup, and then move on. I feel like the biggest thing in life is that we let jobs validate our abilities and our emotions, and we need to stop doing that. It all comes down to like having a job separate from your identity. You are not your job. Your emotions are not your job. Your performance at your job is not you. Well, it is you, but like your performance at your job does not complete you. Like that, you know, like we need to stop finding validation in our jobs, I think, is a big thing, and stop like finding our emotions and our happiness in our jobs. Our jobs are our jobs, and that's it. We don't live to work, we work to live. Wait, is that the right way? I think it's the right way. But you know what I mean? Like, your job is paying your bills. Obviously, you have to do well at your job, but your job is not your life. Your value is not determined in your job. Your emotions are not determined in your job. Your ability as a human is not determined in your job. Your dreams and aspirations might not always be determined in your job, and that's okay. It's okay to find a better, I know I feel like I'm saying the same thing, but I think it's so important to know that like, it's okay to find a better fit elsewhere. It's okay to leave a job that's no longer serving you, no longer challenging you, no longer giving you purpose. Like, shed some tears of disappointment and like, let's move on and find something new and better and bigger. You know what I mean? One thing that I did learn in this process of just my post-grad jobs in general, not this one specifically, is when to stop trying to change yourself to fit a job instead of changing your perspective and knowing it's time to move on. I think when we realize that something's not working out for us the way we thought it would, we try and change ourselves to fit into the job better, to do the job better, to enjoy the job more, instead of changing your perspective that it's maybe time to go. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the biggest things. I struggle with this. I'm sure you guys do too. Definitely one of my biggest struggles. And then you come to the point of like, okay, realizing this job isn't for you, and like, what's next? Like, what are the steps we're going to take to get ourselves out of this position? I think it's really important to reflect. You know, if this job isn't serving you, if this job is not challenging you, if this job is not your dream job, if it's not bringing you a small amount of happiness that might be found in your job, it's time to reflect. It's time to ask yourself, you know, if this isn't my ideal job, what would be? What environment motivates me? What management style motivates me? What coworker style motivates me? What skills do I not have yet, but I want to learn in order to push me? And so when I interviewed for this position that I just took, a lot of the skills were things I wasn't familiar with, but I knew that they would challenge me and provide me with new skills to make myself a more well-rounded corporate employee. You know what I mean? It's so easy to go to another job that is comfortable, and I talked about this in quitting my job video, is that it's so easy to go cling to something else that makes you comfortable, but we need to challenge ourselves. We need to be uncomfortable and be okay being uncomfortable. I think especially in your first job, post-grad, you learn what you need to thrive, what coworker style you need to thrive, what management style you need to thrive, what kind of skills you need to thrive. You know, you might not like being micromanaged, but someone else might. And you might not like independent work, but someone else might. Someone might need to be managed a bit more closely than being an independent. You might enjoy working in groups. Some people might not. Everything is going to be different. Everyone is different. That's the beauty of life, and that's the beauty of different jobs. I think you quickly learn, but yeah, I think one of the most important things is to learn when to stop putting your energy into somewhere you don't belong. I'm not saying you need to completely disassociate from your job. Like, you still need to do your job until you find something else, but you don't need to change who you are for a job. And that's what I want to get across to you guys. I think it's important to find peace in, what am I trying to say? I think it's important to find peace in, like, okay, no, scratch that. Go back a sec. You know, you feel your feelings of disappointment. Woe is me. This was my dream job. It's not working out. And then you move on, and then you start applying to other jobs. And I think it's important in that time to find peace with being grateful for the opportunity, being grateful for trying a new job, for being grateful for what you learned, but knowing it's time to move on. Yeah. I think you need to find peace in that, and also find some gratitude and like reflect on what you learned and what you liked and what you didn't like. And every job is an experience. It's like a relationship. Every relationship teaches you something. Every job teaches you something. It's one step closer to finding maybe your dream job. Or if you don't have a dream job, that's okay. I know a lot of people don't believe in like a dream job, but I think every job you gain skills, you learn what you like, what you don't like. It's literally like a relationship, honestly. And then one day you're just gonna find something that clicks. I promise, if you're struggling right now, that there is a job that's a better fit for you out there. You might not see it now, but I promise there's something out there. All you have to do is apply. Take those reflection questions that you learned, right? And, you know, apply those to your job search. What skills do I have? Maybe find something that you can apply skills you have and skills you don't have, right? It's kind of hard to find a job that would challenge you, but you also have the experience in, right? Like, you might work in HR and then be like, I want to go work in social media management, and you have none of those skills, and it might be difficult, right? Whereas maybe it's something easier to find something that uses both skills, which can obviously take time. I feel like it's really easy to just not like a job and quit. If that's for you, that's for you. I would never do that personally, because financial security is a big thing for me. If you have money saved up to quit, go for it. If you don't and you also want to do it, go for it. Like, you do you, boo. But I personally did not want to quit my job until I had found something else, just for that financial security. But you do what's best for you. If you're in a really toxic work environment, like, I understand if you just need to quit and then kind of keep the job search going after you've quit, or take a break. But yeah, I feel like this video is gonna be on the shorter side, and it's kind of just like chatty and ranty, but I just want you guys to know how important it is to know that it's okay if a job doesn't serve you anymore, and, you know, it's okay to move on, and it's okay to try something new and not feel guilty for it, you know? Like, don't let a bad job or 2 or even 3 like make you think poorly of yourself and question who you are as a professional employee. You know, your job is not who you are in a professional capacity. Your job is not your identity. And I know how easy it is to confuse the two, because we've all been there. I've been there. But your job is not who you are. And I just find it so funny that we always introduce ourselves as like, hi, my name's so-and-so and I work for so-and-so. We're like, oh, my name is Carter and I do this. Or, oh, what's your name and what do you do? Like, our jobs are so rooted in our identity that we really need to find a distinction between the two. And that's something I've been working on a lot in this last year, I feel like, is my job is not my identity. I have a different identity outside of my job, and even multiple jobs, right? Like, I have an identity outside of YouTube and outside of my corporate 9-to-5 job. And that's something I've been really working on this year, and that really brings me joy that, like, I can do that. And that's something you can work on too. I think it's really important to, like, know that when you're going into a new job, like, what are you going to do differently this time, right? Like, are you going to challenge yourself? Are you going to ask more questions? I think a new job, especially when your original dream job didn't work out for you, a new job is a new opportunity. It's a chance to be not a new person, but to maybe improve on things. Maybe you got some feedback at your previous job or some criticism, and it's time to work on it. I just think there's something so beautiful about a new experience and a new opportunity. And life is just too short to stay someplace that makes you miserable. And I mean, that's like a bit dramatic. Like, your dream job, or what you thought was your dream job, might be like a neutral thing for you. Like, you might not be happy, you might not be sad, but there's people who are probably really, really miserable and hate their jobs. And I think there's nothing wrong with it. And that's what I want to get across to you guys. And I know this probably wasn't very like maybe tangible tips for everyone, but I just wanted to just chat about how I feel about it. And maybe someone needed to hear this today and use this as their opportunity to find a new opportunity, to realize their job no longer serves them, and that is okay. We need to stop rooting our identity and our emotions in our job, because our job is just that. It's a job, and you are you, and you have so many other things that can describe you besides a job, and life is just too short to stay someplace that makes you unhappy or that you're not feeling fulfilled in. Wow. Anyways, I'll link some really great articles down below that I read while I was just kind of like prepping for this video. But I don't know, I really felt called in my heart to create this video today for you guys. I've gotten a lot of DMs about like, how did you know it was time to go and all that stuff, and so I think maybe this can help some of you guys out. Like I said, this video is gonna be like straight up going up like this. I just wanted to feel like you're FaceTiming a friend and we're catching up, and you're like, hey, I don't know if it's time for me to move on, and I'm just like giving you some advice, you know what I mean? So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give this a big thumbs up if you did. If you want to see more like advice kind of videos like this that are just like little like coffee chats with Carter, even though I didn't drink my coffee yet, I have the hiccups, let me know. I would love to make more of these, especially about corporate things, because no one talks about like job advice on the internet, and I don't know why we're so scared to, because we talk about it in real life. Why are we not talking about it on the internet? You know, like once again, my identity is not my job. Like what advice I give here, you know what I mean, is different. No, that didn't make sense. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like people are just so scared to talk about advice, but like we would give advice to a coworker but not give advice to like the general public, you know what I mean? So let me know what maybe like themes or ideas you guys have for more coffee chats. I think they're really fun to do every once in a while. So if you guys have a theme or something you need help with, let me know. I would love to film a video on it for you, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.